We're on the road with Mickey, we're gonna have some fun. Regardless of the rain or sun, our trip has just begun. So buckle up, let's go, we're about to start the show. And maybe if you like us, you'll see where else we'll go.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike, and she's Sophie,
And she's Brenda.
Hi, everyone.
and he's Grogu. He is just rocking this thing, and he is just wondering why he puts up with us.
Exactly.
I don't know about you two, but he certainly likes me.
Well, I
Don't
mean,
you?
yeah, he
See?
does.
He's
Okay,
nodding.
okay. Anyway, we are on the road with Mickey. This is episode 217 for April 29th, 2024, and our feature topic this week is our Flower and Garden Festival, Dapper Days, Walt Disney World, everything in under the sun recap.
Yay! I can't wait to hear about it. Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, we had a good time. So that's the show. Have a good one.
No. We gotta give him some details. And Daddy and I have a few funny stories that we want to pass along as well. But first, we
Nice.
have some cheddar that we need to get into.
Yep, and it's my turn to start us off this week. So I have some news that everyone probably already knows, but this coming Wednesday, 2 days from today, is the 35th anniversary of the opening of what was then known as Disney MGM Studios, which opened on May 1st, my parents' anniversary. Happy anniversary
Yay!
in advance,
Happy
Mom and Dad. It'll be
anniversary.
60 years for them, Brenda.
Nice.
Six
Wow.
zero. And
Nice.
of course, we know it now as Disney's Hollywood Studios, but it opened on May 1st, 1989. So, congratulations to Disney. What a long achievement for that park, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it. Loved it. Loved it.
Well, speaking of parks, hopping over to Epcot, the 2024 Epcot International Food and Wine Festival dates have been announced. And I'm
Yay!
really excited because everyone knows how much I love the food and wine. Flower and Garden is awesome, but food and wine is where it's at. And that festival will be running from August 29th through November 23rd, 2024.
That's right.
What
Very
day is
good.
Thanksgiving this
Cannot
year?
wait. It's the
Thanksgiving
28th
28th.
after
Oh,
Food and Wine ends.
gotcha. I
Yeah.
was just wondering if it was on the 24th this year, but it's not.
No. Well, my cheddar is a little behind, but on April 22nd, 2024, 60 years before that, four iconic Disney attractions opened for the 1964 New York World's Fair. They are Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress, Disney's Highway in the Sky, and its Omnimover system spawned such attractions as the Haunted Mansion, TTA, and Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a Small World, and the State of Illinois Pavilion featured a jaw-dropping audio animatronic technology of President Abraham Lincoln, the world's first fully animated human figure. The success of the attraction led to great moments with Mr. Lincoln at Disneyland, which opened before the fair's end on July 18, 1965. Oh my goodness gracious. 40 all these wonderful things happened 60 years ago, and 42 days later, another Disney attraction came into the world. Me!
So that's what you two were laughing at before we started recording.
That's why Grogu just shakes his head sometimes.
Yeah,
Oh,
but it's
so
okay. He likes Aunt Brenda enough.
He
thank
does.
you.
He does. All
Yes, the
right.
World's Fair 1964. So much goodness from Disney 1964. Mary Poppins 1964.
And it ended in 1965?
The World's Fair ended in 1965.
Mm-hmm.
The
Oh,
World's Fair ended on July 18th, 1965.
Yeah.
I am I'm used to fairs and stuff like that lasting only about a week. So the fact that it lasted over a year is mind-blowing to me.
Yeah. Well, people had a long travel time
You're
to get
right.
places back then. It wasn't like now.
You're right.
So it
Yeah.
was, I guess they wanted it to be, something as many people could go there and see.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy though to think
So
about
cool.
that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
to be a fly on the wall back then, or be, to be there would have been great. If any of our
Would have
listeners
been.
were there, I'd love to know.
I have several friends that had been there, were there
Nice.
for it, and I'm like, dude, that's just
Oh,
awesome. Several of
I
my Disney
Yeah.
know.
friends.
Oh,
But anyway, and we have some listener feedback from our What Not to Miss episode, which was last week. And I'm just going to run through these a little bit. Um, Pam said that the Pontoon Magic Kingdom fireworks boat ride is something that she loves.
fun.
And
Mm.
this is something I'd never heard of. The Colors of Coronado painting experience. You get to take the painting as your souvenir. It's a win-win in her book. The Colors of Coronado painting is $40 a person. And like she said, you get to keep the painting as your souvenir, which I think would be kind of neat to
Yeah.
try.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
And then Chrissy said, what not to miss depends on what park she's going to be at. So she said, it depends on the park and how long I'm staying that trip. I don't hit one park every time. Like this next trip, we might only hit Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and maybe Epcot. It just
Mm.
depends on how much time we have, if Epcot happens, or if the new Stitch magnet will be out by then. She loves her magnets and
Yeah.
her merch. So I get that,
Yeah.
Chrissy. So
Yeah.
yeah, it makes a lot of sense as to which park you're going to be in, as to which you don't want to miss.
For
Mhm.
sure.
But my sister Robin has a definite opinion here. She said, "You better ride Cosmic Rewind."
Heck yes. If you're going to be at Epcot, you better.
Well, we didn't.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm serious. We didn't. We had
Robin, you and I are just in shock.
Listen, it was a very hot day.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get into our recap, shall we?
Yeah. Yeah, let's get into are we starting with Epcot then, since that
We
was our
are.
first day?
Yep.
Okay then.
Sure.
So, Sophie, why don't you start us off a little bit? Give us some of the lowdown on what we did.
Okay, so while we were in Florida this last trip, we did not stay on property. Some of our friends, Aunt Sheila, Uncle Randy, and Jagan, they were kind enough to let us stay in their Florida residence with them. And then we drove to the park, parked in the parking lot, and all that stuff. And as a result, we came in through the front entrance. We didn't go in through the International Gateway, which is honestly my preferred way of getting into the park.
Mine too.
But the front entrance is still a great entrance.
Mhm.
Obviously, as the front entrance tends to do, it funneled us directly under Spaceship Earth. So, of course, we were like, we have to ride Spaceship Earth. That was our first attraction of the day. We rode it. We saw a lot of people. There were so many people, and most of them were wondering, why are y'all dressed up so dapperly, to put it simply, for lack of a better term? And so we told them it's Dapper Day. Today and tomorrow at the Magic Kingdom, people will be dressing up like the 1950s and other various decades. And we saw a bunch of people dressed up like the 1950s. Um, I'm going to try and find a photo really quick. Daddy, why don't you entertain them while I'm looking for that?
Okay, I was going to pull up some photos too, but that's okay. So, we like Sophie said, we started it at the beginning of the park, and Spaceship Earth and all that. And then we navigated over towards the seas with Nemo and Friends.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the only downfall we had that whole day, really, because one of the very rare times where we went into a line and the line ended up having to be exited because the ride broke down, and that was
Oh,
the Seas with Nemo and
goodness.
Friend. And so we, we were in line for 20 minutes or whatever, and then it broke, and so we had to exit. But after that, we went over to the land, and we were taking in Living with the Land. We're like, we're over this way. Let's go do Living with the Land because that's one of Sophie's favorites.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the line was like 15 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a really good experience. We enjoy that ride, and it was a lot of fun, and we got to see a lot of different things. And I took a lot of pictures that I'll maybe post in the Facebook group.
Well, I
Um,
Oh,
just
nice.
found my pictures, so I'm going to share a couple of them. I
okay.
didn't take very many, but the ones I did were mostly of my outfits. So this was me. I was dressed up like the 1950s. This is the room I stayed in Aunt Sheila's Florida house. Here's me outside. You can see my dad's car right there for a full
So
thing.
pretty.
There's me in the sun. And
So
this was the
pretty.
breakfast that we had. We actually ate at a local place. It was called First Watch, and I had the Hawaiian French toast.
Oh, I love First Watch. We
So
have those
good.
here.
Yeah, it unfortunately has pineapple on it.
Yeah.
But this was my mom's breakfast. She
Nice.
had oatmeal, Aunt Sheila's breakfast, eggs Benedict,
That's what I get.
and Uncle Randy's breakfast, eggs, bacon, and toast, and breakfast potatoes. That you will find in another video. This one was from the Moana walkthrough, which we went on before we went on Living with the Land. It was something that we did right after we got away from Spaceship Earth.
Did
It
we?
looks great in there. Yeah. Yeah,
I
we did
thought
the
we
Moana
I thought we
walkthrough.
did that after Living with the Land. But anyway,
Mm-mm.
okay. So stop sharing for a little while.
Stop sharing. Can't spoil everything in the first few minutes.
Um, the Moana walkthrough was a lot of fun, and
Mm-hmm.
we had talked last week about wet side, dry side. We
Uh-huh.
decided to do the dry side because I had my gimbal out and I was doing a lot of videos and recording and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But this picture was taken from within,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Nice.
and I thought that was really neat because of the way you get the Moana side of stuff and you get Spaceship Earth and all that. So I thought that was just a lot of fun. Um,
It was.
and so after we did that, we then decided it was time to start eating around the world because, like Sophie said, we had eaten breakfast at First Watch. Um, I had sausage gravy and biscuits with a side of sausage. So I had gravy and biscuits and
Nice.
gravy, whatever they call it.
That's good food.
And so by that time it was time to eat because we had decided that we needed to get some more food in us. And
Yeah.
so we went to the Florida Fresh Pavilion, which is over by the Butterfly House,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where we got the lobster tail, Brenda,
Ooh,
and
nice.
it was $11.25, and it was really good. It was just really really good. Here's a picture of it. I will
I
share this
also,
picture.
yeah. I also got this thing. It was a watermelon cucumber slushy. And on a
Mm.
really hot day, that was really, really nice.
I bet that was very refreshing.
It
Yeah,
was. And there's my slushy in the background with the lobster
hmm
tail.
Nice.
that
Very
lobster
good. That
tail
was
had it
good.
was a key lime butter sauce,
Ooh.
and it was really good. And I know you can't eat the shellfish, and
Mm-mm.
neither can Sheila, but Butch would have liked it.
He
It
would
was
have loved it. Yeah.
eleven
Oh,
dollars and
yeah.
25 cents for the lobster tail. It was big enough that Cindy and I split it, and it was
Nice.
enough for both of us. So I thought it was a good value for what
Yay.
we got, for what we paid. And
Good.
Me,
and
I
that
don't like lobster tail, so more for them.
and Sophie, that slushy was really good, and it had chunks of watermelon as
Hmm.
well. So
Yeah.
so it was really good. Gave me a horrible brain freeze the little bit I
No,
had.
no. Gotta
Yeah,
Oh my
mouth when
gosh,
that happens.
it was painful. It
I
was
know.
painful.
That
He
does hurt.
was doubled over. He was having trouble standing up. I was worried.
That does hurt. Oh my goodness, I
Hmm.
hate
It
that.
went away though, so all was
Yeah.
good.
Yay, that's a good thing.
Yeah. I don't
So you
And
can
get
enjoy
brain
more food.
freezes like he does. I get something called a spine freeze. I feel it up and down my back. I don't feel it in my
Oh
head.
wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it hurts.
The
I
same
don't think
way.
it, yeah, but I don't think it hurts nearly as much as a brain freeze because it somehow disperses itself.
That is
yeah.
so interesting.
Yeah.
And then the next thing we did is we walked over to Canada
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and we
Eh?
tried we tried the beef tenderloin. And I have a
Mm-hmm.
picture of that as well. Um
That thing
it
was
was
on my
Yes.
so
list.
good. It was so good, Brenda. Oh
I
my
even
gosh.
tried a bite.
The meat was
Mm,
like fall apart pot roast type
Mm-hmm.
consistency. The
nice.
um the mushroom gravy sauce was just so savory, and it had the carrots and it had like a little greens on top, but it had mashed potatoes underneath, Brenda, and I literally almost licked my cardboard box. It was that good. And
Oh,
it was so
goodness.
good, I forgot to take a picture before we started eating. And so I went back, and the person holding this one, her name was Ellie,
Mm-hmm.
Elie. Thank you, Ellie, if you hear the show. Um, she asked, I said to her, I said, "Hey, is there any way I can get a picture? Because I forgot to get a picture." And she had told us how good it was going to be. And she asked the lady that this one was for, and the lady was like, "Sure, take a picture." And so
Yay.
I thanked her and I took a picture. And
Nice.
so that's my picture. But
Yes.
it
Happy Disney
was
story.
it was so good. Oh
Oh,
my
yeah.
gosh.
It looks delicious. Oh, that
Oh,
was on
it's
my
so good.
list.
Of
Yeah.
course, by this point in the day, it's getting really, 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 really hot because again, we ate outside the parks, so we had a kind of a late start getting into Epcot proper. So by this point, it was really hot. We were all getting super hot, especially from eating all the food. So we were like, let's go to France because one of my things that I wanted on my list was in France. So we went there, and the line for the French kiosk was literally looped around twice.
Wow.
It was a
Hmm.
very
Really
popular
crowded
kiosk.
day. Yeah.
Yeah, so we skipped out on that, but what we did instead was we went into the Beauty and the Beast sing-along.
I love
It
that
was
show.
it was a welcome change from the bright, hot outside world into a cool, air-conditioned theater with seats.
Yes.
Nice. Yes. That's a
Yes.
It
need that
was
after
very
being in the heat. Yes.
it was very refreshing. And I'm sorry, Sophie, that you didn't get your
It's fine, Daddy. I still
thing.
ate plenty of good food.
Yeah. One of the things I did not realize, and I'm sure I'm probably the only one who didn't realize this, is when you leave the theater, you are right into that quick service place where I had that French baguette that was to die for.
Les Halles de Boulangerie Patisserie. Yep.
Did you get
Thank
that
you.
again?
I did
No,
not because again the line was super super long. People like the food in France.
They do.
France is
They
was
do.
popular there.
Yeah.
Very
France
very
was very
popular.
popular. But what we did do is we walked back out and we walked over towards China, right?
No, Japan. China
Japan.
is
Japan.
between,
You're right.
China's way
yeah,
Japan.
over.
China's between Norway and
Yeah.
Germany-ish.
Yeah.
That's where it is. So we walked over to Japan because Daddy was like, Sophie, the only thing you've had in the parks today was a watermelon slushie. You gotta go eat something." So I was like,
Ooh, I bet I know what you got.
"Okay, let's go over to Japan because they have a steam bun that I would like to try."
Yay.
And let me tell you,
You want me to show the pictures?
yes, show the pictures. That steam bun had absolutely no meat in it.
Oh, what was it?
It was soy, but it still tasted very, very good.
Man, that's
Can you see it?
big.
Oh, yeah.
That's the steam bun, and that's the lemonade that she got also.
Yes, I went
Those
to
buns are
Japan.
so
The
good.
line was thankfully rather short, so I did not mind waiting out in that hot sun. And I got myself a soy steam bun. It wasn't trying to taste like me, it was just trying to taste good, and that is exactly what it did. And I also
Yum.
got myself some watermelon strawberry lemonade.
Yum.
That lemonade was very, 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 very sweet, and
Oh,
also not quite as cold as I would have liked for it to be, but
Yeah.
that's okay because after I got done eating, we decided to go walk through the Japanese department store that they have in the bottom floor of the pavilion, which was very nice, very air conditioned, and very cute.
sweet.
Yes. And Daddy was able to find someone to trade pins with.
Oh,
That's right. I
cool.
did trade a pin. I only
Yay.
traded one because that was all I felt like I needed to do. I had my Adventurers Club pin that I was not super attached to, but I found a Daisy Duck.
Oh my goodness, you scored
I
points.
sure did. I
Oh, yeah.
traded that one and I put it on and I said, "Look, honey, it's Daisy." And not only was it Daisy, it was sassy Daisy because she was winking
Oh my goodness.
She was making this face.
like
Oh.
that.
That's exactly what she was doing. And if anyone who knows anything about the silent partner, which we call her the silent partner, but let's be real, we talk about her way more than we should talk about a silent partner.
Uh-huh.
Anyone who knows anything knows that she loves Daisy Duck. That is her favorite character, especially out of the the Stupendous Six, because Daisy is not an official member of the Fabulous Five. So we
That's
make
true.
it the Stupendous Six.
Yeah.
That is
And
great.
she
I'm so
liked it.
glad you got her a pin.
So it's on my lanyard, but it's her pin.
Sweet.
Yes.
So you always have her with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And of course, she was worried when she saw Daddy trading the Adventurers Guild pin away because she's like, "Isn't that your Wilderness Explorer pin?" And Daddy was like, "No, I have the Ellie badge pin on my hat that I left at home, so that one is safe and it's not going anywhere."
That's
And
good.
it's one of the ones I have the Allen wrench locks for the ones I like so that
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
you can't just take them off. You have to
Mm-mm.
use the tool to take them off.
That's good.
So that's the way I treat the ones I really like. I put the Allen wrenches on them, the
That's
Yeah.
little
good.
metal locks on them so they don't come off. Um, so that was that part of it. We also, after Japan, we walked over towards Germany, didn't we, Sophie?
So what we did was we were still hungry after I stopped in Japan for a snack. So we went over to the American Adventure, which is right next door to Japan, and there we had the Regal Eagle Smokehouse stuff.
That's right.
And my dad and my mom split a it was the pork platter, wasn't it?
Yep. Yep.
Or was it the Kansas City chicken?
It was the pork. We had the North Carolina
Yeah.
pork platter,
Because
and
How
North
appropriate.
Carolina pork is very good, according to
mhm.
them. I personally prefer Georgia, but oh well.
I prefer Texas.
Mhm.
I don't know that Georgia has a style of barbecue.
All I know is that Georgia barbecue is really sweet, which is the way I like it.
You might be thinking of Kansas City, but anyway,
I so
I
the
don't know.
reason my th The reason I think that is because we have this place in North Carolina. It's called City Barbecue. It's a really good barbecue, and they have various barbecue sauces that you find throughout the United States and the South specifically. The North Carolina style one is called swine wine, and it's very vinegary, which is the way my parents like it. I like the one they call Sweet City, and I swore that it was from Georgia because it has the outline of the state on the bottle so that you know what state it's from, and it looks like Georgia.
Okay.
Very interesting.
But anyway, while they were chowing down on North Carolina pork, I had myself a cup of mac and cheese as a side. So I was the cheap date, and that mac and cheese tasted really, really good.
Yum. I had the mac
There,
and cheese at Regal when we went in December. It was
oh
really
yeah,
good.
white cheddar with little breadcrumbs baked on top of it. That is the best mac and cheese I've ever had.
It
Got
was
a good
good.
cheese pull too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just the right edge of crispy and creamy, which I
Yeah.
love creamy mac and cheese. My dad loves crispy mac and cheese. So
Mhm.
he'll eat the top of the pan and I'll eat what's left.
There you go.
It was good. Really good. Um, and then after that is when we went to Germany, right, Sophie?
That's right, because by that point, Aunt Sheila, Uncle Randy, Jagan wasn't with us this trip because she had a midterm. Um,
Oh.
Aunt Sheila and Uncle Randy had stayed out of the park for most of the day because they had errands to run, and also it was just really, really hot. So by the time we ate at the Regal Eagle, I had looked at my phone by chance and realized that it was 4 o'clock. So
It was a very fast moving day.
it was a very fast moving day. It was very hot, and oh, goodness gracious.
You got to be really prepared for your June trip coming up because it's going to be way hotter than that.
I know.
Mhm.
I know. I've got the stuff that I need to make sure I stay cool. I'm just also relying on maybe a lot of indoor attractions as well.
Well,
That's a
yeah.
good idea.
But we went to
Point is,
Germany
yes.
because
So,
someone needed to buy
mm,
something for someone. What was that about, Sophie?
Yeah. What was that about, Sophie?
all right. So last week we were talking about the stuff we can't miss from this trip, and if there's one thing I didn't miss, it was making sure that I bought my boyfriend a gift. And my boyfriend and I both adore Germany. We're both actually trying to learn German right now.
Uh-huh.
And so I got him this. I We were
Nice.
making our way out of the park, and I was insistent that I get my boyfriend something from Germany. So I told my dad, we're going towards the park entrance. We're at the American Adventure. Let's walk around the side of the park that Germany's on so that I can stop by and get Jonathan a gift. And this is what I got him. While
I
I was
like
there,
it.
I met this lovely lady named Eileen. She was from Berlin, actually. As everyone knows, all of the workers who work in World Showcase, almost all of them are from whatever country they are representing in the park. So you've got everyone in Germany from Germany, you've got everyone in Japan from Japan, Canada from Canada, all that stuff. And it just helps to bring about a cultural accuracy in each of the pavilions that they work in. And I was telling her my boyfriend has German ancestry from the Bavarian mountains, and she was like, "Oh, that's very nice." And I said, "I would like to maybe go to Germany with him one day." And she's like, "Well, you'll be happy to know that Epcot is really good at accurately portraying Germany as far as I knew." I being Eileen. And she actually helped me with practicing some of my German. She was very, very nice about it too.
Very good. And
Yeah.
that's a great gift.
It
Yeah.
is.
And you know what I did, Brenda?
What?
I
Went to the
went
caramel shop.
I did.
That's my brother from another mother right there.
And
We've never been.
I bought the milk chocolate caramel with sea salt,
Oh, yummy.
and it was
Yummy.
really good. And it
Yes.
was, and you know what? I had never bought anything in the store before.
It's so good. My husband always gets the milk chocolate with sea salt. I get the dark chocolate with sea salt and we share.
Yeah.
Mm.
So good.
And
Yum.
I got a Diet Coke.
Well, that goes right with it.
You gotta offset the calorie count, you know?
That's right.
I ate
That's
half the
right.
calories because of that.
That's right.
It was
And
so good.
calories don't count in Disney anyway.
You're
Oh
right. They
no.
don't.
When
They
you're
don't.
walking like 4 to 6 miles a day, they don't count.
Nope.
They don't count.
And who tracks them? Who tracks their food while they're in Disney? I mean, I'm sure there's people that do,
I
but
did.
I avoid my tracker. I avoid my tracker.
I
Well,
did
Daddy,
to a
I'm
point.
proud of you. I'm
To a
proud of you
point.
for doing that.
I wasn't
Yes.
like Mr. Vigilante here, but I did some.
That's
So.
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So after that, we were like, we got to go catch up and meet up with Randy and Jagan. I mean, Randy and
Sheila.
Sheila. Sorry.
Yeah. It's
And
okay.
so they were at Connections Eatery.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
nice.
So
Yeah.
we headed over that way and we hung out with them.
Mm-hmm.
And Mommy, silent partner, got a milkshake. What
A
was the milk?
Madagascar vanilla bean milkshake.
Goodness, that sounds good.
And I didn't have any of it.
Mm-mm.
But
I
Cindy
had a
really
tiny
enjoyed
sip.
it, and Sophie enjoyed it. And
Yes.
it came with one of those big honking like 3/4 inch straws, so you can get a lot of
Yeah.
milkshake
Yeah.
out all at once. Um,
Yeah.
it was
Otherwise, they're
they
too
said
thick.
it
You
was
can't get
really
them
good.
out.
The only thing Cindy wished that it had that was better was if it was chocolate instead of vanilla.
Oh,
But
Well, they
really?
had
but
I
a
it
love
was
vanilla
chocolate
really
bean.
one.
good.
I could have sworn they had a
She
chocolate one.
she would have gotten it if they had the chocolate one there.
Hmm. Oh well.
Because
I
you
bet
know
it was
her,
really
she
good
would have
though.
gotten the chocolate one.
I
Mm-hmm.
So
know that General Joe's salad over there is to die for. That's my favorite go-to quick service at Epcot.
Aunt Sheila said she was this close away from buying me the Liège waffle, but I'm glad that she didn't because at that point I was really, really hot and I didn't want to eat anything else.
yeah.
So actually, by the point of us getting to Connections Eatery, we had walked all the way across World Showcase, and
Uh-huh.
my poor feet were killing me.
Uh-oh. Did
Yeah,
you go
They
I
into
were.
tried.
the big huge gift shop there right next to it then?
They
In
did.
Disney?
They So Aunt Sheila and Uncle Randy went in. At that point I was like, I don't want to walk anymore. I had taken off the shoes I was wearing and swapped them out for flip-flops and my feet still hurt. It
Oh,
literally,
goodness.
whew, I'm pretty sure if I had walked any further than I did, I would have gotten a huge blister on both the balls of my feet.
Uh-oh, that is
Yeah.
not good. Good thing you saved yourself from that. That's one of my
Mhm.
favorite gift shops though at Disney. It's one of the best in my
Yeah.
opinion. What do y'all think?
I agree.
I
That's
didn't
where
go
I
into it. I don't remember going into it.
On a
So
previous trip, I had went into it purely to buy myself a hand fan and a icy cold towel, the one that you pour the water on and
Yeah.
shake it all off and then it just feels like an ice cube on the back of your neck. Those are the
Yes.
two
Those are
things
good.
that saved all three of us at Epcot that day because
hmm
it was so, so hot.
if
Yeah.
anything, the icy cold towel was too cold to compete
Oh
with the
no.
heat for me. For me.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But anyway, I then after we finished at Connections Eatery, we hung out there probably a good 45 minutes, just talking, going over what we've been doing, just relaxing. And
Enjoying
after,
Disney friends.
yeah,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
we were about to leave, and I said, "Wait, we gotta go see Walt."
Oh
And
You
yeah,
sure
we
so
do.
we almost missed
we
that
almost,
statue if it weren't for Daddy.
so we went and saw Walt. And
Oh.
Cindy was, so you could see what we were dressed at. I was dapperly dressed in my,
Yeah.
this is the way with my Tommy Bahama shirt.
Yeah.
Of course, I was the least dressed compared to my girls because they were really decked out. And
Sweet.
Walt appreciated that he got to sit next to Sophie, he said.
Aw.
Yeah, he probably appreciated she wasn't a
Daddy.
bubbling idiot and she couldn't control herself.
You know,
Hey.
Brenda, hey, when I sat down, I felt the same feels you were feeling. I was able to suck it up, but
I'm glad you
I felt those same feels. And so the PhotoPass photographer took our pictures with my camera and with hers.
Nice.
And so she ended up taking like 8 pictures.
That's sweet. Oh, I just
And then
love that
the Walt
statue.
the Dreamer's plaque.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So,
Love it. Love it.
and I was thinking, December 5th is Walt's birthday.
Yeah.
And December 5th, 2026 will be the 125th anniversary of God putting him in our lives.
Mhm.
That sounds like a trip waiting to be had.
Yeah. 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 And it's a good
So,
thing because I'm usually in Disney December 3rd through 10th, so it kind of always works out.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we might need to plan that
Sounds
down the
like
road.
Mhm. Well,
But
anyway,
anyway, so after that,
we
um,
finally left.
finally left, and
Oh my goodness.
by that time, I was beat. I was wore out.
So
We
were
were
y'all
lucky,
even
though.
looking forward to going to Magic Kingdom the next day by then? Or what were
Oh
your
yeah,
thoughts? You like,
Okay,
can't
so
wait to get some rest so we can hit the ground running tomorrow?
yeah.
Magic Kingdom Day was a chaotic day, and we
Oh,
will get
it
into
started.
that.
It started off chaotic.
And ended chaotic.
Did it?
Well, we have to hear about
How
that,
did
so
it?
give it a
Oh,
go.
with the bus, that's no big deal. Yeah. You know what? It wasn't that bad, Sophie. It
Hey,
could have been so much worse.
oh no, I know. But you were really peeved about it when it was happening.
Because I still think I was right.
Oh,
And
it's okay, Daddy.
I will remember, I will think I'm right till the day I
Well,
die.
you got to fill us in on what is going on with the Magic
Well,
Kingdom.
first of
We
all,
will
just
later.
we're done with Epcot Day. We drove
Mm-hmm.
home and we hung out the rest of the night. Did we go
In the air
anywhere else?
conditioning.
No, we didn't. And I'm pretty sure that I also, yeah, I kind of skipped dinner that night too.
Yeah, we all kind of did because we had eaten a lot during the day. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, so we had a good refreshing night, and we woke up the next morning, and it was time to get ready to go to Magic Kingdom. And Sheila says, "Hey, I was trying to do uh, a virtual queue for Tron for all of us, and it wouldn't work. So I just did it for myself and Randy because I couldn't choose Cindy. It said it wasn't allowed." And I started looking at it, and it had our day set to Hollywood Studios. And I
Oh,
started looking
no.
more and more, and I realized that I had missed something. And what I had missed was on the ticket I purchased, which was the 3-park 3-day ticket through Disney, that does not include Magic Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I do not remember seeing that when I was buying it, but then of course as I was looking, I see it plastered everywhere in the fine print.
Yeah.
So a word of warning for people that might hear this: if you are looking to go to the Magic Kingdom, the 3-park 3-day ticket will not work for you. It will not get you access to the Magic Kingdom. So
You
I
have to buy
opened
the
a
4-day
chat.
for that.
I opened a chat with Disney and said, "Hey, what is up with this?" And they said it doesn't come with that, but you can upgrade your ticket. So we got to the park, and I went to the ticket booth, and um, the lady's name was Jaden,
Yes,
like
Jaden.
Jagan, not
Mhm.
Jagan, but Jaden.
She had an amazing Star Wars bag too.
She did, and she was very helpful. and
Mhm.
she was very ready to take my money to upgrade
Yeah.
our ticket to the 4-part ticket.
Yeah.
And so we were able to switch it to a 4-part ticket. And I mean, we're only in 2 parks, so it was a waste of 2 days of tickets for us,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
a shame, and that's a lesson I learned. But
But did
but
you
I
get to ride Tron?
but we
Did you
wanted to
get in?
ride. We got into Magic Kingdom. I wanted to get to the Magic Kingdom. I didn't
Mhm.
care about Tron for myself.
Oh.
I like the bench seat. I don't like the light cycle seat.
Oh, okay.
And
And
so it
I was
wasn't a big
wearing a
factor. And
yeah,
Sophie was wearing a nice, pretty dress with the big old hoop or whatever she calls that stuff.
crinoline.
Oh,
Um,
And I
nice.
will
and,
show you the picture
and
that I
so
took of
she did
myself
not
that way.
want to. She didn't want to try the
Beautiful.
roller coaster with that. Although I saw a lot of people in dapper attire like hers
Yeah.
that were riding Tron and having no problem with it. But
Yeah.
anyway,
So next time.
So Cindy and Randy rode Tron and loved it and had a really good time.
Yay.
And they both like that roller coaster.
I
And so
love it.
Mhm.
Great.
personally, I don't think it's worth the time investment for a 54-second ride or whatever it is. I
I do
just
wish it
feel
was
like it should
longer.
be longer. It needs to be longer.
That's the same with
Yeah.
Rock and Roller Coaster. It needs to be longer too.
Yeah.
No, that needs to be shorter.
So anyway, so I didn't ride it. I hung out with Sheila and Sophie took
Mhm.
the opportunity while they were doing their virtual queue. She took the opportunity and went to Space Mountain and got in. She was in the line for like 5-10 minutes, and then they said, "Anybody we got a single? Anyone? I need a single." And Sophie's like, "Here I am! Here
Me,
I
me,
Yay!
me,
come!
me,
Here
me,
I
me.
come! Take
That's
me!
right.
Take me!"
That's right. You got to take
And so
advantage of those
so
moments.
she got in and out of Space Mountain in like 10 minutes.
That's fabulous.
They literally so there's okay, how do I describe this? So, anyone who's ridden Space
Wow.
Mountain knows they have that long corridor into the mountain. And then once you reach the end of that corridor, there is the stereotypical
Switchbacks.
zig, zig,
Right.
zag, zag line queue that you have
Yeah.
to go all the way through in order to get to the loading bay. And takes forever, really boring. Nobody likes to stand in that part of the line.
Yeah.
I had just gotten in to that part of the queue. Literally, I'd come out of the corridor and I was like maybe 5 feet from the long corridor, 5 feet into the zigzags, and they were like, "Anyone a single rider? Single rider?" And I raised my hand and like, "I'm a single rider. Me, 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 me."
Yay.
So I was able to skip that whole boring section.
That is like the best feeling ever.
I
It
know.
is,
It's
and I
like
was in the last
Disney
car of the
magic.
I was in the very, very back too. I
Ooh.
was
Nice.
in the last seat of the last car, which is the best seat.
Yeah. That's fabulous. That's a magic day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, so she comes out and she's like, "Here I come," and I'm like, "Wow!" And
That was
she came over to Tron and had to wait like an hour with us. It felt like an hour. I don't think it was an hour, but it felt like an hour while we were waiting for them to finish Tron.
It was at
dang.
least 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was crazy. But so we had entered the park. We're kind of skipping around a little bit, aren't we? We had
Yeah.
entered the park and we rode the ferry over. We came into the park. We walked down Main Street. I took some video.
Mhm.
Um, it was the Dapper Dans were there
Oh
singing.
yeah.
The horse trolley, all the different transportation modes were all in force and being used. It was so cool.
And then
Um,
once he was done, we were all really hungry,
and
so
we were
we were
hungry.
like,
So
"Where are we gonna eat?"
we went to Casey's. Some of us
You
went to
three did.
Casey's, and Sheila and Sophie went to
Sleepy
Sleepy
Hollow.
Hollow.
Oh my gosh.
I got a funnel cake, and Aunt Sheila got corn dog. And while we were waiting in line for Sleepy Hollow, Uncle Randy called us and was like, "You guys left me behind."
Uh-oh.
And we were like, "We didn't know if you wanted anything from Sleepy Hollow. You were going with Uncle Mike and Aunt Cindy to Casey's." And he's like, "Well, you guys can't just run off like that." And we were like, "We're together. We know where we're going. It's fine."
Yeah.
So we met back up with them once we got our food, and we sat in front of the Plaza Inn, and we all ate our food there together. My funnel cake was so good.
And after we finished
Did you have
eating,
any
and it was
color
really good, the hot dog was really good. The fries were good there too. And after we finished eating, we went into Tomorrowland, and we had time before Tron. See, I told you we skipped around a bunch.
Oh
So
yeah.
we actually rode the TTA, and Sophie and I rode in a car together because I turned on my phone recording with my gimbal, and we did our own little on the road with Mickey kind of
B-roll.
Cute.
segment, and showed people the ride and did the ride, and we did the whole ride together while there. So I have that video, and we're gonna play it now. Hello everyone, I'm Mike,
And I'm Sophie.
and we're on the road with Mickey. We are giving you a little bit of a shot while we are riding the TTA,
Also known as the People Mover.
the Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover.
One of our most beloved attractions.
Yes.
To be honest.
It is one of our favorites. It is a gorgeous day here at the Magic Kingdom. Slightly overcast skies.
Please step carefully onto
That
the moving
helps
platform,
keep it so
then
it's
step
not
into
too
the car.
hot.
Yeah.
For your safety,
And it's going to be a high of like 88. So you can see my hair is like in the breeze.
Non-stop service around Tomorrowland.
So we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to transfer so you can see where we are, and we're going to come back. So I'm just going to flip the screen so you can see where we're going.
Greetings,
Here we
intergalactic
go.
travelers. Welcome aboard the People Mover, presented by Enterprise. I'm Borak 5, your guide aboard this highway in the sky. The absolute best way to see Tomorrowland. And my stars, is there ever lots to
I don't know.
see? From spacecraft to monster laughs, there's really nothing like today in Tomorrowland.
I guess I don't know how to use it.
If you have wings, jetpacks, or gravity polarizers, please
So
do not
Sophie,
take flight
talk.
while on board. Thank you.
Oh, wait, me?
Yeah, talk while we're riding.
Okay, how was your day?
My days are going great. No, talk about what we're doing, what we're seeing.
Oh, okay. Well, right now we're seeing the bridge from Tomorrowland.
Your express train keeps on rolling through the future, right by two of my favorite
So we're
spots.
about to go into a tunnel right now.
Yep, going into the tunnel.
First up, Progress City. Walt Disney's amazing dream for a community of tomorrow. Did you know Progress City inspired Capcom and a lot of the visionary ideas throughout Walt Disney World? Look, there's even a tiny people mover. I wonder if that means there's a tiny orc.
That is what kind of prompted the experimental prototype community of
Home to
tomorrow.
the greatest goods in the galaxy. Except action stars. Those are no longer sold.
All right, back to us. My hair is very flyaway.
Now approaching
I
Tomorrowland
think your hair
Speedway.
looks better than
Tron
mine,
Light
Daddy.
Cycle Run.
I don't
I
know.
love a good circuit. And these
Look
are
at
two
my
of the
hair,
best
Sophie.
tracks
It's got
in the
stuff
cosmos
going
for a bit
everywhere.
of light, speedy competition.
That made it even worse. Thank you, baby.
I thought we were going to make it look intentional. But right now we are going over the Autopia, the moving go-kart thing. And we're also going
This
to
is
go past
the Disney World called the Tomorrowland Speedway.
Please keep forward-facing tentacles clear. of
Autopia is
vehicles.
Disneyland.
Thank you.
And over there is Space Mountain.
We are about to
about to go
enter
into.
Space Mountain. Over here you see Tron. For a quick
It's
moment.
about
maybe?
to get very dark, people. Don't be scared, please.
Yeah, don't be afraid. It's okay.
This is Starport 75.
Or as we locals call it, Space Mountain, our high-speed rocket point to distant deep space destinations.
Let relaxation wash over you at the most refreshing retreat in the galaxy. The Coral Rooms of Pisces 7. You H2O it to yourself.
Okay.
Book today.
Sophie is on board with riding Space Mountain.
I remember
Today.
when I used to be terrified of that ride.
Yeah. I don't ride it much anymore. It's a little hard for me to get in and out. So,
It feels quiet for some reason. I can usually hear them.
the screams of terror. Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah, which is why I used to be very
Afraid of it. Ooh, it is dark.
Very, very dark. Well, now I can hear it. Not helping, Daddy.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, here we go.
And we're almost out of Space Mountain. So, everyone online is like, that was when Mike looked his best.
Oh, I don't know. I think I look my best in there.
No, not at all.
Paging Mr. Morrow. Mr. Tom Morrow. Please contact Mr. Johnson
Right
in the
here.
control tower to
Tom
confirm
Morrow.
your flight to
Your
the
name
moon.
is Michael.
Thank you.
Something or whatever. I'm not going to say. And now we're going back the way we came for a while.
Attention all visitors from Galaxy S31. Please keep forward-facing tentacles clear.
Down there, over Sophie, you see the Tron.
You guys will be going, not you, but our silent partner and a couple of our other friends will be going on that soon.
Yeah. You know, we didn't even mention that today is Dapper Day.
Well, I mean, I would hope they would know based off of my outfit.
Your beautiful dress.
Thank you.
And I think I look dapper with my Baltimore Orioles. Best team ever.
High above
The
Tomorrowland
orange
for a spin
matches with the
amongst the
silent
planets.
partner.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
It does.
Woo! That's a mess of hair. Yours is good. Mine,
The next
not
station is
so
Walt
much.
Disney's Carousel of Progress.
Okay, it gives
You
you
can tell I'm a dad because my hair doesn't look good like
Like
Sophie's
progress
does.
itself, this theater never stops, inspiring
Yeah.
new generations to dream of
And
great,
now
big, beautiful
we are
tomorrow.
going around the Carousel of Progress. Later on, we are going to do a live for Brenda while we sit and watch the Carousel of Progress. I'm sorry, it's not the Carousel of Progress. It's Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress. Got to get the name right when it talks about the man.
I think you might want to turn the camera this way soon, because we're about to go into Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, okay. Coming into the dark for Buzz Lightyear.
Calling all space
Here we
rangers,
go.
report to your star cruiser and join me on this daring space mission against the evil Emperor's Herd.
Affirmative. We're
That's
in
where
Buzz.
my hair wants to look like.
How on earth are you supposed to get those targets up there?
You shoot them from up here.
We don't have guns up here.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. Scratch that idea. You know what would have made this the perfect segment?
What?
If Aunt Brenda was with us.
You're right.
It would have been.
Mike
Easter
Wazowski's
resistance.
finds real monsters of comedy. Whether you have one eye or nine.
But you know
take
what?
the time
We'll
to
do
see
that
his
another day.
show.
I see a friend of the show in the background. And I see a son. I see a husband of the show.
Transit Authority Station.
My fellow sentient life forms, people mover journey has yet to come full
She
force.
is not being seen.
Thanks for riding with us. It's
Yeah.
been a pleasure to have you aboard. And even though we're concluding, this is always my favorite.
There
part,
she is. I see her
because
hat.
now is the
Now
time
we see
to
the
harvest
silent partner. Say hi to the silent partner, everyone.
Tomorrow, today. See you in the future.
Good job, Sophie. Well, we are about to finish up, guys. We hope you have enjoyed our running commentary and the little bit of views that you might have seen. This will be in our next episode, so have a great day, and we will see you on the road. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. And it was time to go for them to get to Tron and for Sophie to do Space Mountain.
Mhm.
And Sheila and I were just hanging out, and it was so cool because you know that queue area for Tron is just really neat, and it has
Yeah.
the covering over it, and it's not hot, and it's not in the heat of the sun,
Yeah.
and you see the coaster go right by you. Shoo, shoo, shoo.
Yeah.
And Sheila was like, I'm going to record them, and we'll get the one that is Randy and Cindy, and then we'll have the video of them. And Sheila took that upon herself. She recorded 91 4-second clips of
Wow.
coasters going by, and it was not them.
Oh no.
92nd one, they finally
The
came
90-second one, they were coming through, and something happened, and it didn't hit record. And so
Oh
we missed it. And,
no.
but we were watching all of them, even if it wasn't recording. And I looked, and then I saw Cindy scream. I'm like, "There's Cindy!"
Oh my gosh.
It
There they
was
go.
It was the one where she hadn't recorded, but it was so funny. But we had so much fun just
That's fun.
watching these people. These people, watching them on the roller coaster is funny.
Some
There was
of them
a guy,
scream like girls.
Mhm. There was a guy who was on the very front on the left cycle, and he did like some sort of Heisman pose or something, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna fall off. It was like he was pointing down, and I'm like, he's gonna fall off that cycle.
Oh no.
And of course he didn't. But
Mm-mm.
Thankfully.
yeah, it was crazy though, and it was so good.
That's
So,
funny.
but
So good.
Great ride.
it was really neat, and
And of course,
for Sheila has some vertigo issues, and like I said, I like the back of it, and I don't like the waiting for such a short ride. So it's not a big deal if I don't ride it. But we just watched people, and it was just fun to watch the people,
Yeah.
and see who's coming through and all that. So we had a good time, even though we weren't riding. So
and of course, after we got done with that, by that point, it was time for our lunch reservation at Tony's.
yeah,
And while we were there, we were just in time for the parade, and we had a spot on the veranda, which was a sort of glass greenhouse-like area where there were tons of windows and you could look out and you could see the parade going by. But of course, I wanted to be able to get some pictures, so I was trying to go up onto the actual porch to see it. Unfortunately, the waiter staff told me I had to go back to my seat, and I did. But then there were these three lovely ladies. Their names were Shannon. Um, oh shoot, I forgot the other two ladies' names. I think, no, not Cheryl.
I don't remember what their names were, honey.
I only remember Shannon because she was the one who came over and initially invited me, she came over and was like, I saw you trying to get a better view of the parade. We have a spare seat at our table if you would like to come and watch with us.
That is
And
so
I was originally
sweet.
going to say no because I didn't want to bother them. But then my mom was like, go on, Sophie, she's offering. And I said,
That's
okay,
very
thank you so
sweet.
much. And they were all dressed like Dapper Day as well. They are from New Jersey. And
Yeah.
so they actually follow the Dapper Days online. So they were the ones who told me that the next Dapper Day for Walt Disney World was in December. And these are a few of the pictures that, well, they're all the pictures that I got while I was sitting with them. So we have Peter Pan on Captain Hook's ship on a float, and Captain Hook is down below. I have the Maleficent dragon, both not spitting fire and spitting fire.
Ooh, good
Right.
one, Sophie.
And they were actually trying to get a picture of that shot as well. So I airdropped Miss Shannon this specific picture as a thank you for inviting me. And that
Nice.
was very nice. And then we have Pinocchio on the
Aw.
circus float. And we also have Dumbo and Monstro and the pink elephants. And we have Donald behind him, a bunch of different circus actors, and then the parade finished with Minnie and Mickey on this giant balloon at the end, and that was very cool to see.
Yes, that was
So
so
after we
sweet.
got done with that, I thanked them again and went back to my seat, and there I had some fettuccine alfredo. That was
Yum.
Yep.
really, really good.
And I
Yeah.
had the shrimp scampi pasta with the
Mm,
spaghetti, and it had the shrimp scampi was so good. And we also ordered the bread for the table that was garlic bread, and it was focaccia bread that was
mm-hmm.
just really, really good. It had like a, what was it, a garlic butter? Is that what that was?
Yes, it was, and I ended up pouring the excess that we didn't use onto my fettuccine,
For her leftovers.
which I forgot at
Nice.
Florida.
Well,
Oh,
Oh well.
and then um, it was just really good. I can't remember. Did you guys order dessert? Did Cindy order?
No,
We did not have
no.
dessert. No.
Not at
Um,
Tony's because at that point we had resolved ourselves to go to Port Orleans French Quarter for some beignets at the end of the night.
yeah. So at that point, what we did is um, Jagan. I keep saying Jagan. Sheila and Randy were ready to head out and go back to the
Hmm.
house for a little bit, and they decided they would do that, and we would hang out in the parks and do more park stuff, and we would go ahead and meet up. They would pick us up, and we would go get beignets. And
Hmm.
so, what we were going to do was we decided to do some more attractions. That was one of the things I had on the list was to do attractions, and so we went and did our live viewing, our Facebook Live of Carousel of
it was
Progress,
so nice.
so that we could
Yes.
get that for Brenda.
So
And
nice. Oh, I
we had
loved it.
so many people talking about it. It was so much fun. And we
Yes.
were singing along. Oh my gosh, that
We
was
were
so
singing,
fun.
Butch and I were sitting in the living room in our recliner singing along too. It was so nice. Thank you
Eh,
so much for that.
And then by
Actually,
that
I forgot
point,
us. I skipped a point because
mm,
we did not leave yet. First, we went and rode the railroad all the way around.
oh, you're right,
Yay!
we did.
And we did that because we wanted to ride the railroad, but also we also wanted to get a picture of all
Yay!
of us.
Oh,
Hmm.
this is awesome.
Um, and we wanted to be able to have a photo pass picture. So let me share my screen. After we rode the railroad, we went and got a photo pass photo done of all of us.
And
That's
then we
great.
had to go and make sure that we were all receiving that photo. Yep,
Aww,
there we all are.
I love it.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
good. It was really
Sweet,
good.
so sweet.
So,
And then they left and we went to Carousel of Progress.
uh-huh.
And then
Sweet.
after that, I was like, Daddy, I want to ride at least a few rides, at least one ride that isn't in Tomorrowland.
Right, because everything had been in Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
So we went and we
To
did.
Fantasyland,
We went to Fantasyland.
we did Winnie the Pooh,
Uh-huh.
and then we rode Prince
The
Charming's carousel, and I got some pictures of us there.
Perfect.
And then
Just
we
perfect
did.
for that.
See, they were on the bench,
Aw.
and I was on the horse next to them.
Sweet.
And then there's Daddy actually smiling.
Yay.
And I've got one of Sophie too.
Mhm.
And then we went to
PhilharMagic.
and we saw
Great.
PhilharMagic and love that. Just absolutely love that show. It is just
Yeah.
so good. We love it so much.
It is so good.
And then after that, we were going to go. By this time, it was getting late enough that we were getting worn out again. And
But at least it wasn't hot.
and we were ready to connect back up with Sheila and Randy. And we were going to do the Haunted Mansion and then call it a night. And we got there, and the Haunted Mansion line was insane.
At least 50 minutes. At least.
So we decided we would skip it. And we also knew that Sophie was planning a trip to come back when she could hang out with Jagan. And so we figured, you know what, it'll be all right. And so we walked to Main Street and we went through the Emporium. And then as we left, we saw that we were going to go meet Sheila and Randy at French Quarter. And that was bus station 18. And we went to bus station 18 and we got on. There was a bus there waiting for us. And we got on.
Story.
And we were like, hey, this is so cool. And I texted Sheila and I said, hey, we just got on the bus to French Quarter. And someone said, no, this is the bus to Saratoga Springs. And I'm like, but it was in bus station 18. And they said, no, it was in 17. And I know it was in 18 because 18 was the end of the line. And so we were out of luck. And we
so we drove all the way to Saratoga.
And we said, sorry, correction, we're on the bus to Saratoga Springs. And so they drove, it was right next to each other. So they were going to meet us at French Quarter, but instead they met us at Saratoga. And then we drove over to French Quarter.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we had beignets.
Great to have friends at Disney.
Yeah.
Very great.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we were talking with people that were on the bus, and we met a lady who was probably 10 years older than me, who had been in the 10-mile race. It was a Run Disney event that weekend, and she had run the 10-miler. She did the 5K the first day, skipped the 10K, skipped the second one, and did the 10-mile. And I was very impressed. I was like,
that's impressive.
Way to go.
Yes.
And she had her medals and everything. And, you know, they had a whole bunch of people throughout the parks getting their photo pass pictures with all their medals, and people with all 4 medals had done all 4 races. I'm like, y'all are nuts.
More power to those people.
Yeah.
Man, that is an accomplishment.
Oh, yeah.
So
we finally made it to the French Quarter.
We made new friends on the Saratoga Springs bus.
That's why you got on there.
Yep. And then we
went and got these.
And we got beignets.
Yay.
And I will tell you, I'm going to drop it right here.
Drop it
in my mic right here. I feel that Mr. A's here in Apex are better than the French Quarter beignets.
Oh, yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
So there you go.
We were in Florida. We weren't in Apex.
Right. So you deal with what you get.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's right. Do the best
Those,
you can.
they were more like a cake donut than they were a beignet to me. They weren't as crispy as you get on a beignet. So to me. But that's
I wouldn't say they were a cake donut, but they were still not quite as good as Mr. A's.
So there you go.
Well,
Brenda,
that sounds like a great trip,
you
though.
need to come up to Raleigh.
I do. I do. So many good things there.
So anyway, that was our time in the parks.
Sounds
We
Yeah.
had a
great.
really good time. We overcame the little obstacles that I created and that others created, and we just dealt with them and we rolled with it. That's the key, is
Mhm.
dealing with your expectations and managing them on the fly and dealing with whatever comes your way and just making the best of it. That's the whole
That's it.
point.
Yep. Keep
So
rolling. Just keep swimming.
exactly.
Just keep
Exactly.
swimming. Just keep
And we had
swimming.
a we
Just
had a
keep
really good
swimming,
time.
swimming,
So
swimming.
That's great. Well, thank you for sharing your story. That was awesome.
Yeah.
thank you, Brenda, for listening.
And of
Yay.
course, first time in what, 20 plus Disney trips that we got on the wrong bus. I'd
Yeah.
say that's a good track record.
Yep.
Yep.
All
Very
right. Well,
good.
that is our feature topic, and it's now time for this day in Disney history. Sophie,
Okay.
take it away.
Well, I'm taking us back to the year 1957. It is April 29th, 1957, and a now adult Shirley Temple takes part in the dedication of the Sleeping Beauty Castle walkthrough at Disneyland. In attendance is Walt Disney and Miss Temple's oldest daughter, Linda, son, Charles, and youngest daughter, Lori. Back in 1939, child star Shirley Temple had presented Walt with an honorary Academy Award, one big Oscar, and 7 little ones for Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When I had
Cool
first
history.
read that, I was like, Walt's children are not named Linda and Lori, and he did not have a son.
Yeah.
And then I realized they were Shirley Temple's children, and I'm like, isn't Shirley a child at this point? She was not.
Nope, she was an adult by then.
Mm-hmm.
She was.
That is great. Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you.
All right. You ready to stump the Soph?
Dun
I don't think you're gonna be able to, but go ahead.
I'm going to preface it and say I cannot believe I've never had this character.
Oh.
Hmm.
Blew my mind like poof. So this character has the power to create.
Okay.
This character was originally going to be a villain in their movie.
I have 2 ways that this could go. Continue.
Well, do you want to give two guesses?
Have we already done Elsa?
No, we have not.
This is Elsa.
It is Elsa.
Yay!
The third clue was that this character was born on the winter solstice.
And I
Very good,
believe
Sophie.
I could not believe I had never done Elsa.
I think you did that as a courtesy to me.
You mean not having her?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
That
I
is
mean,
awesome, Sophie.
that blew my mind. I had never done Elsa. I had done Anna,
Hmm.
but had not done Elsa.
Great job,
Well,
Sophie.
good
Thank
job,
you.
Sophie.
The
Listen
other
to this.
guess would have been Yensid from Fantasia.
Oh, okay. I don't think it's in here. Is Jensen in here?
It's an animated movie. It should be.
Okay. Well, listen to this. The head of Elsa's animated model has more than 400,000 individual strands of hair.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a girl who needs a haircut.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
Wow.
Elsa from Frozen.
Yay!
Wow.
Great
Good
job,
Sophie.
Sophie.
Thank you.
So great.
All right. Well, Brenda, it is time to wrap it up with a little bit of Walt.
Yay! All right, I will. I believe firmly in the efficacy of religion and its powerful influence on a person's whole life. It helps immeasurably to meet the storm and stress of life and keep you attuned to the divine inspiration. Without inspiration, we would perish. Walt Disney.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Fine inspiration. Just saw that Disney Plus is going to be carrying The Chosen, and honey, I am just excited.
Really?
Excited.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That is big deal.
That is a big deal. I love The Chosen. Love Disney. Love the plan.
Yeah. All right. Well, my friends, that wraps us up for this week. Next week, Mike's got some homework
Ooh.
because this is one of those episodes, Brenda, where you and Sophie try and figure it out and you have no research to do, nothing to look up, no figuring out how it's even possible that Elsa could have 400,000 strands of hair on her
That's
head.
crazy.
None of that, because the topic is, where in the world is Mike?
Oh my
And
goodness.
what we're going to do is I am going to drum up some pictures, some of which I took on my recent trip, and I am going to share the picture, and I'm going to describe the picture for the audio listeners so that you guys can try and guess where the picture was taken from. So it's like a where in the world episode, and you got to try and figure out, where is this? Where is that? Where was it taken, kind of thing.
All right, Sophie, get your thinking cap on, because I'm going to be relying heavily on you for this one.
And there's no, it's a team effort, you know. It's not, you know, Sophie got 7 right and Brenda got 3 right. It's,
No.
you know, collaborating to figure it out, because, you know, honestly, it'd be a lot easier for Sophie because she kind of knows where I went.
That's okay. That's okay.
So there's
That
no
sounds fun,
competition.
though.
It'll be
Yeah.
fun. And we're going to do a similar episode later with Sophie, where in the world is Sophie, and she'll
Maybe
run it.
sometime in June.
And then Brenda will do where in the world is Brenda, and she'll do the same thing, and
It'll be fun.
it'll all be good. It'll be
All
fun.
right.
It'll
Looking
work.
forward to it.
It's going to be awesome. We're all
I
going to
need
have
you,
fun.
Sophie.
Don't worry, I will make sure that we get every single one.
Good.
So that's next week, and I'm thinking like 10 pictures.
Great.
So that's next week, my friends. We hope you all have a great week, and that if there's anything struggle going on, that you're able to find the positive in it, and that you look to whomever you need to for that hope and inspiration. But until then, I'm Mike. She's Sophie. That's Brenda. And he's Grogu. And we will
See
see you on the road. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.